Good evening. Here I am again. This time around I'm going to record a Rumba Flamenco song, and I'm going to use all the bits and pieces of the new features of Smart Bridge. So let's start with a simple structure. I have a chord progression that has an intro, verse, pre-chorus and chorus. And that of course exists in Smart Bridge. And what I can do now, when I already know that I'm going to use the style of Rumba Flamenco, as you can see there, I can do a whole sort of recording. So let's do that. First of all, intro, I like it to be the main B and fill in of B. Then I like to use the main A and fill A to give the voice some space. And then as a pre-chorus, I like it to have the break and then just use the D. Then all I have to do is actually start recording. And it kicks off. And now it's finished the recording. As you can see, it has the drag motion there. All I have to do now is drag this into the timeline. And it starts off with a intro, and then I count in, and then it does. So now I have all the pieces, and as you can see, they are connected along with the actual song structure. All right, so the next step now in this process is that I want to introduce a solo for the first intro of that chord progression. So for that, I open up Smart Bridge and open up my solo editor. And the way I envision it is that the guitar, it's an acoustic guitar by the way, it starts off with a classic bend. And I have some really nice bends here. So yeah, that's what I like. So let's start with that. It starts off somewhere in the middle, so we get this beautiful. And then we're going to introduce some sort of a motif. So let's see what we can find out here. A little bit too bluesy. That could work. Let's try that. And here you have to be careful about how it's placed, because sometimes these are played by real musicians, so they need to be on time. So in this case, I need to move it and time stretch it so it fits. So you can see it fits there and then it fits there. So that's important. Let me just do a little nudge. There we go. So let's try it out. Perfect. I want to make this a little bit louder, so you can hear the guitars. Excellent. So after that, so bend, a motif. Let's continue with something else. See, that was too bluesy. That was too similar. Let's walk down. Yeah. That's typical style of that. I'll leave the space open here. Oh wow, this is really good. Let's see what it does. Right, so I think it's a bit too fast. Let's check it out. Lovely. So we'll add another bend. Another bend. We'll stretch that bend out like that. And now we have a solo, another bend. And then we're going to finish it off with something a little bit more melodic. Like that. Excellent. And again, make sure that they are in alignment with each other. So in this case, I think I need to move this so it hits that note. Okay, now let's go through and see if we're hitting the right notes. The way it works is that the blue line tells me the notes of the chords, the purple one tells me the tones of the scale. So this is an easy way to just check that your stuff is, and some passing notes are fine. It's just the longer notes that are not good. So in this case, let's pull that one down and that one down a notch. Continue here. Ah, here we have a classic passage that needs to go one way down. Let's push that down, and that down, and that down. So they sound good. That is fine. Here, these two can go up, but I will let those small ones pass. Same thing there. Oh no, that one is too much of a note. Let's bring that one down and that one down as well. Again, this is a really easy way to work with the chords and the stuff like that. There we go. Da-da-da. Passing notes, that's fine. Here we go. Oh, that one needs some help. Passing notes, fine. Maybe the last one is actually going to hit. And then lastly, this poor guy. There we go. So now we have a first solo, and it's actually been in key. Let's go back and listen to it. One thing that I noticed is that it's too high, so I need to lower it an octave. There we go. So now. Perfect. All I have to do now is drag it into my timeline. And I've already got in song once, I connect that to a classic nylon open. All right, let's take the next step in the process, and that is to create some lyrics and have Saro sing the first verse. So I'll walk into SmartBridge. Here is the verse section. I click on the microphone, and here I'm going to use the easy one, so it gives me suggestions. They can be flowy, which is like a melisma, la or punchy. Each syllable is punched. A combination, the classic call and response, etc. I'm going to go with a combination of flowy and punchy here. And I switched over on the instrument side to a tenor sax so I can hear how the voice will sound. I like this. This is really good. Then what I do now is I open it in my piano roll. Great, so we have the notes here. And sometimes these notes are not in alignment with each other. So what I normally do is I just select them all, go into correct and intelligent snap. So now they are snapped in, so a singer accentuates on the correct phrase. So let's listen to it now. Great. Now for the lyrics, I'm going to be really lazy. I'm just going to write down some keywords. Stormy winds of love and power. And then I'm going to ask the poor lyrics to create that for me. So let's see what it comes up with. By the way, now it's actually connecting to the LLM and it's using the ChatGPT API version of it. I'm not using the offline at the moment. And when it has to repair a lot, it's because sometimes they are difficult to fit in, depending on what you have requested. All right, so he gave me some lyrics there. Let's check them out. Let's check out this first one here. Check out the clips. Stormy love is calling me lost. That's what he came up with. And the other one, your love surrounds me free. So he's trying to do that. Let's make some changes here. Here, I can also tell it if I want flowy and punchy. So I can pick all these notes and I want to say, I want these to be punchy. So it changes color now. I want that to be flowy. I'll do the same here just to showcase what it does. So I make these punchy. And then I repeat the same process and let the lyrics sort of handle that. Let's see if it adds now more syllables to the particular words. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But the whole idea is that you can control the singer and the intonation where he picks each sort of phrase. And you can get a really, really convincing a good result by using these tricks, the intelligent snapping, and of course using the flowy and punch in different versions. So you will see what I mean in a couple of seconds when it's done, and I will pass it over to Synthesizer E. So again, it's repairing the phrase, sending it to the LLM. Great. As you can see there, now we did that. Your love keeps rolling, da da da. So we got more syllables, they are quite sort of. And here it did a carry, which is two syllables. So that intelligence built in. So what I do now is I send to Synthesizer E. Then I open Synthesizer E, have already Saros as the lead, and then I get from what I sent over. I get here, I choose a preset. In this case, I'm going to stick with pop. And there we go. So let's hear the new lyrics and the voices with Sarah singing it. Well, we gave in some really poor choices here, but let's remove a couple of words like go. That doesn't sound good there, and that doesn't sound good there. And you can make your adjustments here, but I'm going to leave this as is. All right, so the next step is to record the pre-chorus. And the pre-chorus is going to contain at least 2 harmonies. So let's start by giving a suggestion. I just take anything because it's just to illustrate the example. Let's use that. I'm not going to be too fussy. So it opens up in the piano roll. And we have the, first I'll do the intelligent snapping. Great. And then I will actually give it love is lost. Some really depressing stuff. And see what he comes up with. Great, so I got some lyrics. I'm sending them over to Synthesizer E. Opening up the lead. And pop them in there. Let's listen to what he's singing. Let's use the word gone a little further. Now I want to add, I have another voice here which is called the choir voices #1 from their package. And for that I'm actually going to use the harmonization engine. This. Right, so what I do now is that I send the chords and then I pick them up so it knows what chords to follow. Then I tell it how many singers I want. So in this case it's just one voice. And I pick up H1, which is the choir voices. And he is a tenor. And the target here I want is to be an alto. No, a soprano actually. So it matches that. And then all I have to do is click generate. So now I got a second voice beneath this. I don't think it's going to sing everything. I just wanted to do stabs when needed. Right, so he's not going to do that. He's just going to do... It's gone. And then he will just sing that part. Great, so we got that. And the cool thing about here is that you can add more singers to it. So I'll add a couple of singers and I space them out. So let's do it now. All right, so now here comes the part of doing a chorus. And I'll do the same trick. I'll open up a easy. In this case, I want something that is a hook and an answer, because they usually are more better of creating that. Yes, I like that. It opens up in the piano roll. Oh, I like that. Open it up on the piano roll. Oh, it's quite busy as well. That's good. So let's do first to correct the timing in. Good. And just continue. Well, I can showcase this actually. What you can do is that, let's say that you want to work on this section. And it has already identified what amount of syllables. And you can type in words here if you want to, and they will stick. But another way you can do it is that you can actually say what word you want it to rhyme with. Let's say love. And then what happens is that the LLM gives you suggestions on things that rhyme with love. Push, push, push and shove. Your ghost thereof, soft as dove. And the other thing here is that, as you can see, I can do, for instance, say that I want this to be punchy. And now when I request it, it will actually add more syllables because it knows, yeah, nothing but love, falling from above. So in a double click, here we go. So we got the wordings in there. Let's do the same thing for this one. Here I can already see that I want these to be punchy, so they are always as one. And the other ones can be flowy if they want to. Let's use, instead of love, let's use power. No left sour, wilted little flower, still dancing hours, tears like a shower. Oh wow, that's romantic. Let's use that. Let's go back here. I believe this is supposed to be the same as the first one, so let's see if I can do something on love again. Oh, I forgot to add the punchy on the two lines there. Yeah, let's do that. Make sure that these are punchy. Try again, and then we get lyrics that are more hitting the syllables rather than doing melisma. Dancing with your love, perfect. And let's finish it off in the same matter by doing a cadence based on the word power. So again, this is a way that you can work with lyrics, still yours this hour. And again, you can do this yourself, and it says still hours, and so you can create and you can add stuff here. But with that said, let's send it to Synthesizer E. Open up the lead. Click on Saros, get it, and import it. really, really good. Quite busy and quite impressive. Let's now continue in the next phase. Okay, now the next phase is to create the harmonies for all of this. The first thing I need to do is send over the chords to synthesizer V. Import the chords, and we have a couple of singers. We have the choirs, we have Solaria, Saurus, and then Solaria again. So, one thing I usually like to do is I just take and do a copy. So I use this as the template, and you have to unlink it so it doesn't... So in this case, I want to... This is what I expect the choir to sing when it sings with Saurus. And this tears, he's not going to do that. Let's... and then dancing, of course. Let it render. Right, so here I would expect him to not do this. Remove that. So now you have some accompanying backup voices. And from that, I'm going to create 1, 2, 3 more. So 3 voices. This was a soprano. A soprano. Humanization, I want loose, so they get a lot of variation. And the singer separation is important here because Solaria becomes 2 voices, so I don't want this sort of sampling crashing. So I add this called strong singer separation. And then we got, the first one is H2, H3, H3, and then H4. And the first one is H2, is Solaria, so she is definitely a soprano. Then we have Saurus, who is a tenor, and then we have Solaria again, and I don't know if I'm going to put her as an alto or a soprano. I'll try as an alto, see what happens. Of course, I have to pick my type, and I think I'm going to go for a pop stack. Right. Let's listen to this now in context and see if it works. Not that bad. We can do better. Let's try another alternative. Let's try the gospel spread and see if that gives me something more exciting. I think the volumes are a bit too low. Yeah. Right, so let me bring up the volumes. And let's listen to it now. Great. What else can we do to improve it? We can actually add more singers and a little space. So it becomes like a thicker choir. We can also give them a little bit of character. And all that together gives it a much sort of thicker choir to begin with. And that's a simple version of this Rumba song. What I'm going to do now, and that's not going to be part of the video, I'm going to finalize the song by adding the full sort of thing to it, and I'm going to post it so you can listen to the final take. But in this case, I'm just going to play through what I got at the moment and then finish off with that. So let's listen to solo played by the guitar. Saros has a really good voice, and I really like his voice. Now comes the first choir. The choir is quite good as well. All right, thank you very much.